Goodness gracious. Now, I'm trying to get a view of what you guys see. So I set a different computer up, a second computer up today. I just didn't mute it before I turned it on. And the feedback, of course, from the system. So I guess y'all can hear me. There's no need to ask for a number one at this point to make sure that you can. It seems like you're all good with that. Well, welcome everyone. Thanks for the ones. I do appreciate it, Charles. Oh, goodness gracious. Yes, we have started. Yeah, I love Jimi Hendrix comment. That's good. Everything is switching, Sarah, over to Zoom at some point. Yes, we're moving everything over to Zoom. Right, that is the goal here, is to have it all on Zoom. So we've got one platform that we use, and Zoom seems to have some better security features now than they did before. We started with them a while back, and then we shifted back over because I wasn't happy with the security functions that are there. And one of our students, Rick, a couple of our students had pointed out, but Rick had been harping on me of, hey, you need to look at this because this is not good at all. So, all right, there we go. Welcome. That was my thumb. Right now you can see it good. Let me move that a little bit. I don't really need to see me in there. All right, excellent. Yeah. All right, Robert. Good. You guys are able to see it. That is excellent. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and jump in, folks. We've got a ton of stuff that I want to get through here today. So it is time to start. So let's go. First thing, we've got a couple things coming up. We got Mastermind Group coming up tomorrow night, which is the first session of our new Mastermind Group. Started this now in the month of October. Trading You comes up on October 7th. I am teaching on Trading You. I've got a strategy that I'm going to be teaching on stock splits, folks. I went to teach it last month when I taught and didn't get a chance to because so many questions came in about the market out there. Disconnect that phone. So many questions came in about the market that we never got a chance to, but I will be teaching that first before I take any questions this week. And the reason for it is this. I do believe that right now with the splitting of Apple, the splitting of Tesla, and then we've got, what is it, MCK recently came out. Yep, MCK recently came out and announced it was a 2-for-1. Yep, 2-for-1 split, right? I think we're going to see more of that. Amazon is too expensive priced stock. I think we'll see some of those type companies announcing splits as well. Based on that, I want you to have the ability to trade them. I want you to have the ability to take advantage of the moves in the market, and knowing the 5 phases of a stock split are going to be important, including how do we trade Apple now, bigger picture, not short-term for today. The move is over on Apple. The split's announced, it's over. But we'll go through that on Trading You. Brandon's got a bonus session set up for this Friday. I just caught it today. I didn't realize it was this week. I thought it was next. E-mini Think Tank, if you're in his class, whether it's a trial or not, picking the correct targets. Brandon does a phenomenal job. I've learned so much from him on the way that he sets up and looks at his targets. The trainings he does is outstanding. Well, this one is going to be phenomenal. I'm looking forward to it on how to correctly pick your targets. And then Mastering the Trade is coming up on October 22nd. That's for everybody that is in the Power Option Plays. And then Monster Market Movers coming up on the 29th. We've got Power Hour, Mondays, noon, right? And then Power Option Plays, Covered Call Explorer, and E-mini Think Tank are all on schedule for this week. So by all means, go ahead, check those out. Here is our follow us page. Folks, please make sure you're following along with what we do. I have students that say, Rob, I don't see that you put a new video out on YouTube. How come? There's a little bell you can click. You ring the bell, it's called, and that bell will get you notified on YouTube of anything that we put out there, right? So make sure you're going through the various social media platforms and checking out what we do out there, folks. It really, we've put some great content out there in the last couple of months. We're hitting some bigger numbers on our subscribers. We're excited about where it's going and certainly the direction we're taking. Our new studio for our recording is just about done. Sean's working on lighting today. That's our next phase. The studio is built out. The monitor, 55-inch TV is in place behind me, so you'll be able to see everything behind me as well as what's on my screen. We've got a switch that we can control up to 9 inputs, meaning 9 cameras, 9 microphones, 9 computer screens we can work off of. And Sean's going to be the digital guru working through all of that and switching up for you in things like Power Hour, where we'll be doing it live from a studio from there and such. So I'm excited about that. There's some great things coming in there. I don't want to tell you what some of the things we're putting up in there, but this will be a trading room. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If any of you have been in classes I've taught in the past, where we did them in our trading room that we had with the previous company that I was with, you're going to see some similarities to what was in there, and even some things we're going to take it a step beyond that. So by all means, make sure you come in and check it out. And all of this stuff you'll hear about on the various social platforms that we're doing, right? All right, there we go. So today's topic, right? The presidency and COVID. How many of you, give me a 1 for yes, a 2 for no, how many of you felt that over the weekend when we first heard about this, that we were going to see some major issues in the market because of it? Give me a 1 for yes. Be honest. I'm not going to beat you up right or wrong. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Yeah. And I'll give you my answer in a minute. And we're getting mixed. We are getting more. Did they stop? Okay. We're still getting a couple of them in there, but we are getting more 1s than we are 2s. Okay. Some said no, but we're getting more 1s than 2s. I personally believed, without a shadow of a doubt, yes, we were going to get hammered today when this first happened. As the weekend went on, and let's say this, as the night went on, when they announced it, right, and they came out and the president came on and they showed the video of it, the question came down to, and there were some news channels out there saying, well, is it really now, or did he record that before? And he's really much worse today. The New York Times is stepping out there saying, well, he probably has to come off the ballot. Really? Really? He's got to come off of the ballot? Why? Just some of the fake news type stuff that's out there, obviously driving it down. And listen, everybody has an opinion. News is not supposed to have one. They're supposed to work off of facts, but it doesn't work that way. You can look at all the polls you want right now, and you can ask yourself, what area did they poll? Did they poll an area that was a Trump supporter, or did they poll an area that would be a Biden supporter? Right? Well, if they polled an area that's a Biden supporter, then yes, the numbers are definitely going to look worse, right? Good or bad, right or wrong, again, I don't really care who you're voting for. You've got to deal with the consequences for the next 4 years, depending on your vote, right? Of if your candidate wins or loses, you're going to deal with the consequences based on that. But when all of this first came out, I thought, absolutely. When I saw the video come out from him, I was like, okay, much better, much better. Yesterday, my wife and I were in line. I had to take her to a doctor's office yesterday. She hurt her shoulder. And no, it wasn't from me, okay? And while we're standing there, I take out my phone and I see that 31 minutes ago, it said that a new video came out from President Trump. So he was standing up, he was fully dressed again, right? Some of the news channels were commenting on, wow, he's got COVID and he's out there in a suit, right? But I saw the video come out yesterday from it and said, okay, he looked so much better. I didn't even show it to my wife at first. She was listening to it. She said, is this now? And I said, yes. She said, he even sounds better than he did from the other night. Right? This respiratory and stuff that he took, right? This cocktail of experimental drugs, right? He took the Z-Pack and the respiratory, whatever. What's the symbol for that stock, by the way? If you guys can, somebody can give me that symbol, that would be great. Respiratorin or whatever it is, RVPN, or I forget. But if you know it, type it in the chat box for me. Some of you know how to find it, which would be great. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate that. Right. So once he came out with that announcement, I said, all right, I don't think we're going to get hit as bad. I thought there still might be some issues come today, but now apparently he has been out tweeting and he's going crazy with all of that. And I think some of this stuff has driven the market up to where we are 366 points to the upside right now on the Dow. No, this is not the chart. No, I'm asking you guys for the name for the symbol. I don't remember. Normally we just put the S&P 500 up there, right? Which is what Rick had said. Excuse me. So just waiting for the real time to kick in. There we go. All right. Is it Regeneron? Is that it? Yep. Okay. There we go. All right. So they are up. The CEO was on CNBC this morning, pre-market. They were up big time in the pre-market. They were showing there. They're up 38 points today. Right now, they're not at their high that they had been, which puts them, by the way, would put them at an all-time high. Right? I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Yep. Their recent high they had is an all-time high. Let's go to daily, not weekly. That's an all-time high, right up in here. This time right here, this dollar amount. So what does that represent for us? Well, number one, it represents for them that the drug the president took, right, and has gotten better for it. Everybody's going to say, Umi, I'll take it. Those that are willing to take a drug, right? I know some are not. And I know some hate the president and feel that he's lying and it's not a real drug. He didn't really take it. And, you know, it's BS. Whatever your opinions are, folks, that's awesome, right? I guess you have to ask yourself the question of, do I want to make money off of my opinions or do I want to make money off of the way the market is moving? See, if it's off of what the market's doing, then forget about your opinions. And I mean opinions of the president, opinions of his opponent. Forget about any of that. What effect is it having on the market? You know, excuse me, this weekend, we got together with my brother-in-law and his family and we did some pumpkin carving, right? Cut up like 7 pumpkins or something this weekend we cut up, right? And none of the stuff we did as kids, we cut the triangle eyes out. This was taping paper on it, poking holes, cutting with saws that are made for pumpkins. And I wanted to get the sheetrock saw, but my kids wouldn't let me. But, you know, and then all this fancy stuff. Well, in a conversation with my brother-in-law, who he's savvy when it comes to money, but not necessarily the market. I mean, he's done well in his 401k type stuff in the police department, but not necessarily money. And he really didn't fully understand how markets tend to move and how you can potentially profit short term. He's very much a long-term buy and hold, which is what he's been his entire life. He didn't know any better to do it on his own. So he put it in a mutual fund and let it do what it does, right? And you can become profitable on that. It's just a matter of how much are you leaving on the table, right? So as an example, I took 2 of my positions and I told Sean and Amelia and Lisa today that I took 2 of my positions last week that I had my long-term holds and I have doubled my position in them, right? Those that are in Mastermind Group know what I'm talking about. I have taught you how to make larger investments of your 401k into things like the SPY and how to write covered calls and use protective puts on them to generate profitability and certainly dramatically reduce your risk no matter what happens in the market, right? So I doubled my positions last week on them, right? Because I think we've got some overall potential bullishness happening. We'll see. But if I'm wrong, I've got protection in there. So even if I'm wrong, I'm looking at 5 or 8% will probably be my cost in the positions because I have been dollar cost averaging buying into this longer term positions out there, right? Excuse me. So let's see. Appreciate that, Ed. Remdesivir is developed by Gilead. Okay, well, Regeneron is one of the companies he was taking something on because they were on this morning saying that I'd like to say that our drug helped the president. I can't say for sure what it was, but our drug was part of it. So Gilead is the other one. Thank you very much. That was Charles. I appreciate that, Charles. Right? Gilead did not have the reaction that a Regeneron did. So REGN, but that's who it was this morning that I saw. Right. So Robert said, if it works for Trump, then they may make new highs. Guys, again, whether you like the president or not, does it really matter? If we found a drug that works, who cares that he's the one that took it and it worked? If you're going to bite off your nose to spite your face, you go for it, right? If someone says you're dying, take this or else you're going to die. And you say, no, the president took it. So I don't like him. The heck with him. Really? Right? Let's, again, put personal opinions aside and look at the health of the country. They're in a major trial right now with Regeneron. I think it's 60,000 people. If they could push that through, they said we'd have it by the end of this year. They actually said something about having 2 million doses the end of this year and first quarter next year having enough for everybody. So, and it's not just them. They brought on Dr. Gottlieb or somebody, the guy that was a surgeon general or something like that before, who is now a contributor on CNBC. And he said, listen, we need to be getting all of these companies, not just them, but all of these companies ready that have these drugs out there. And he started spewing off the names of them, right? We need to be promoting all of that and pushing all of that so they can get it done faster and giving them the ability to get it done quicker. Now, I understand all of the craziness of, well, what if the drug, we're jumping through hoops and we're really not following in the FDA process? I get all that. I do. I really do. But step back a second and take your opinion out of it for a moment and say, is that process really what is needed to get a drug approved? I'm not saying the speed we're doing this at should be what we do everything at. I'm not saying that at all. Right? I'm not saying take off the cuffs and go. Right? Should there be some other checks and balances in place, longer term, bigger picture? Absolutely. But why is it every other country in the world can get things approved faster than the United States can? How much of that is lobbying in Congress and whose pockets are getting lined? No. You want me to promote it? You need to support my campaign fund or whatever. Right? There's so much political underlying in there of people getting paid for things. How much of that affects how long it takes? And if you don't think that happens in everything out there, anybody who's ever, I know New York for sure, but I would bet other states as well. Anybody in New York that is familiar with what was called the Interborough Parkway is now Jackie Robinson Highway, right? Or Jackie Robinson Parkway. And anybody's familiar with that, they've been working on that for about 26 years. Okay, and they're not done yet. Does it really take that long to build a highway out? Really? I can tell you what the mode of operation is. You got one guy standing there like this with a shovel, right? And he's working, right? And you got 45 other people standing there like this with a clipboard and they ain't doing crap, right? Why? Well, because, we got to drag this out. We can't make it happen that fast. I think drugs need more trial than what short-term we're doing here. But I think right now we don't have a choice. We've got to weigh the risks of how many millions of people could potentially die again this year from this terrible disease versus the risks, and all of it is a decision. And then that's where our own personal decision comes in, right? Do you want to take it or not, right? But overall, I do believe that there is an amazing opportunity right now in the market if this drug works for these type of drug companies and such out there. So let me go back and catch some of these comments in here. I got to kind of slide back up there. Let's see. David said drug has been out for a while. It's really expensive, so not everyone's insurance will cover it. And that's a good point, David. Now, I know a lot of these drug companies said that when this is released, that they are going to have very little profit, if any, in there on these drugs, just trying to get them out, just covering their costs. We'll see how all of that goes. So Susan was asking, where did I see the video? I look on my Facebook videos and it popped up on there. I don't know where he sent it. My guess was it was a Twitter video that was copied over somehow. But I don't know. I don't follow any of that on Twitter. It seems that they know on Facebook who I like and who I don't. And I get to see the videos that I want, or that pertain to me is probably a better word, not the ones I want. So let's see. Yeah, Charles said if it works, it works. Amen. Of course. Absolutely, Charles. I agree with you. So Leslie said, look at Gilead in pre-market today. Okay, so let's do that. So let's go over here. Let's see. Let me go and, no, I don't want to format symbol. Oh yeah, actually I do. Custom sessions. Okay, 24 hours. Gilead, let's see. Yeah, so I mean, they had a gap. So why am I not seeing it on TradeNav then? What was different on TradeNav? I guess I didn't catch it. So it was a small move. We did have a gap up. So it was a good point that Gilead did gap up in pre-market on that. They just didn't have the move. But then again, they also don't have the price. This is a $2 move on a $60 stock. What is that, 3 or 4%? Right? Which might have been the same as Regeneron's move as well. Along there. So good point on that. Let's see. Robert said, Trump said if there was a vaccine, he would be first to take it. He is a high profile patient and the doctors would not do it if they thought it was to do great harm to the president. Absolutely. They would have fought him tooth and nail on giving him something if they thought so. Right? Trader Will, you are spot on, my friend. Brenda, you as well, with your comment there of why things get done so slow on the roads. It happens all the time in Delaware. I bet, Charles. I bet it does. Regeneron. So Jim said Regeneron's earnings 11.4 not confirmed. Weekly options, good implied volatility. Good implied volatility. Okay. Spreads are large. Open interest low. There you go. I mean, Charles went ahead. Jim went ahead and took all of this stuff. Watch. Let me see. Where is? Oh, let me see. Oh, I can send right here. Or not. Let's see. Will not allow me to select all. No, I don't want to select all. Let's see. Control C. Why won't it let me copy this? Control B. All right. It's not letting me copy and paste for some reason, but I'll read it again. Earnings are 11.4 not confirmed. They have weekly options, good implied volatility. Spreads are large. Open interest is low. All right. So he's giving you all of the details about those options. I understand Karen said it's not a terrible disease. Respectfully, that's what the media says. I get it, Karen. I understand. Charles said they also weren't in the news as much as Regeneron. Yeah, and Regeneron definitely was bigger in the news. Yeah, I get it. I get it, Brenda. I do. I've worked with it for years. I completely understand. So guys, where we're at, what's going on in the market, what happens because of this? Bottom line is, look at the market itself. We're up 46 points on the S&P, 350 on the Dow, 200 points on the NASDAQ, right? Let's see, $ SPX.X. Okay. Here's our 5-minute chart on the S&P. We've had this great run. And then, well, but Rob, we kind of died off. Yeah, at 11:40 in the morning, right? Which is lunchtime, right? So we've gone sideways there, right? Let me ask, how did you guys do in the market today? Tell me, did you get some trades off? Ed, how did you do, my friend? Tell me what's going on out there. Did you guys make some money? And paper money is fine. I'm not looking for testimonials. Just tell me how you're doing. I just want to know. So Tom said break even today. Ed's up $450. Great on Apple. Trader Will said tried the SPX gap fill, and that went against them. Okay. John, are you really? Or are you busting my oh my goodness. Well, your prayers are with us, John. Everybody keep John in your prayers who's recovering from COVID. I hope it has not been severe for you, John. Sarah said, no trades yet today, just waiting patiently for price to hit my zones. Excuse me. I placed six trades today. Most of it is my covered call type stuff. I did have one trade other than that I did this morning. So Mondays are a crazy day for me getting ready for this. I've got a meeting before this as well. So it's a crazy morning for me. And with my wife being somewhat out of commission, she's still home. And all the help that she needs right now, that's most important to me. And that, my friends, when you ask your why, that's my why. Why do I want to do this? Why do I want to trade the market? Why do I want to have the opportunity to generate an income from the stock market itself? And that's the ability to do what I need to do for my family. If I can't be around today, I'll cancel class and do what I got to do and help her out. You really need to know your why if you want to be successful at this. Let's see. Netflix was good today, Karen said. Robert said up $3,000 on paper with the ES, 5 contracts since pre-market. There you go, Robert. Sarah said I went aggressive. I went my aggressive numbers because the volume seemed low to me. Up 6% on the account with 2 trades. There you go, Suzanne. Excellent. Trip said 50 points on the NQ move up this AM. 50 points, right? Trip, 50 points or 50 ticks on the NQ? 50 points. That's 200 ticks. Trip, how much is a tick worth? How much is one tick worth, Trip, on the NQ? Well, 1 point is worth 20. Right? So what a phenomenal move. That's a grand. There you go. Tom said that's a grand. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right? That is phenomenal. Great job, Trip. Yeah. There you go. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Right? So a lot of people chiming in, paper funded. I know many of them that are funded that are just, they're not saying what they are, but I know the folks that are out there that are trading regularly, that trade full time, right? I know who that is, right? Others are doing it on paper, and that's great. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with perfecting that system on paper or being unsure of, all right, we had a big move up this morning, right? And if we look, right, someone will say, well, Rob, what was our move on the YM this morning, which is the Dow, right? And it's okay. Well, right, what was our move? Well, if you look from the overnight session, right, this is, let me just take these off of here for now just to clear this up. This is, if you look here, this is October 10th. I'll look over my calendar. That was Friday, okay? October 10th, 10, 10, 10, 10. And then what happens here? October 4th, which was 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Sunday. That's where we opened Sunday. Slight move up through the early session in the US, nothing at all. Through the European session, nothing really at all. From that, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock time frame start, nothing at all. We got over to 10 o'clock this morning, and that is where we saw the pop take place. Now, we had a little bit of move on the open, right? We moved up and came back down, right? So a quick hit, nice pullback, good support level in there, right? And we had a nice break to the upside today, right? So when you look at this, say, well, how much of this was affected by overnight? It really wasn't. We didn't get the move until the U.S. market opened up. Very little happened in the European market, right? Here you got 935. That candle was between 930 and closed at 935, right? Here was 925 to 930. That's the closing price in the pre-market action before we open up into that very large candle right in here, right? That was today. Right, let's see. Do we have a drawing tool here? Let's grab that bar, move it around somewhere that I can get easy access to it. Here we go. You can see that wick that's setting up on there, right? Great opportunity, big potential move. Let's go back and get a mouse. Okay. So it gave us a good little full H, right, pattern in there, came all the way back and a bounce, right? Very nice overall pattern so far today on the markets, right? And you can see here the S&P has followed suit, right? Yeah, Tripp said, I don't even want to calculate the numbers. I just use the spreadsheet to figure it out. I don't even have to think about it anymore. Tripp, I think Brandon redid the spreadsheet I originally created up there, correct? Didn't he give you guys a newer one? I'm just a creature of habit. I keep working off of everything that I created years ago, decades ago, some of it. Okay. All right. So let's see what's going on here then. Let's go take a look at a couple of different stocks, right? So, all right, let me just see. And I'm playing with the other laptop here. Just want to see what I can see and not see on there. All right, beautiful. So I just wanted to full screen it. So let's go take a look at some of the big boys. Well, actually, let's do it this way. Let's go take a look at some of the big movers out there. How about that? Let's see. So if we sort by net change, all right, so Amazon is moved more than the S&P 500, right? What a great move on Amazon. Top secret folder. So all my trading details are in. So Amazon has earnings unconfirmed, at least as of Sunday, unconfirmed on the 27th of this month. So we got to be careful there, right? We're getting up on that. 29th rather, sorry. 29th is a big day. Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, MasterCard. They're not all confirmed, but they're all showing right now on the 29th of October. So a lot of big numbers. So those E-mini think tank students in here, be careful on the 29th with these. Check the timing of each one of them. But we had Amazon down as a day trade. Actually, we had it down for earnings because they're coming out on the 29th. But day trade was what earnings would tell us. So the question is, did we have any clear and concise entries on Amazon today, right? So Amazon, if you were trading Amazon, if you follow along with the gap stuff I do, the gap and go on Amazon would have been clear if it fit the criteria, right? So there we go. So did we have a clear and concise entry for Amazon? We were able to move from 31.46 to 31.76, so 30 points. Amazon itself moves over 100 points a day, so that's a little bit iffy unless you're sitting there managing it. A $10 move on Amazon is not, a $30 move on Amazon is nice, but that resistance above head is a little bit scary inside of that, right? So there's earnings. Yeah, I know what it was. It showed a different date on Trade Navigator than it showed on Earnings List, but neither one of them were confirmed. So we went with the earlier one just to be cautious, which is why we had listed as an earnings candidate. So nothing great, right? In there, our moving averages, the 21 yesterday, we came right off of the 21 today and bounced. Your call of how aggressive you want to be. Probably not my favorite way of taking the trade, right? Google is up $23. We had Google down as a day trade in there. So let's see what's going on with Google. Yep, would not have been a day trade that I take. Not one that I am a fan of, right? NVIDIA had a nice move, as did Netflix. After that, we really start to drop off. We didn't get any kind of pullback on NVIDIA. Let's see Netflix real quick intraday. Well, Netflix was interesting. Let's go look at Netflix. This takes a couple seconds. There we go for it to kick in. Oh my goodness gracious. Somebody said that, who did Netflix this morning? Someone typed that in before. Who was that? Karen, you did. Okay. Karen did. NVIDIA was our trade du jour today. Amelia took a debit spread and earned 36% rate of return on that trade. Awesome trade, guys. Give her some kudos. Amelia's crushing it right now on the trade du jour. The trade of the day, right? So look what happened on Netflix, right? I'm going to write a number down. I got a piece of paper here, right? Pad. I'm going to write down. I'm going to write down 503.76. By the way, the text that yes, it's going to stay on. I will never shut my phone off as the market's going at all, and even in this class, because Amelia texted to me when I said she's doing a phenomenal job. When I taught the last mastermind group live, which is our inner circle group, it's called now. When I taught the last live training, Amelia messages me right after we're done with our second day. It was a Friday, Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., right? So one full training day there. Amelia messaged me and said, I'm completely revamping the way I take trades based on what you showed us here. And we got into clear and concise entries. We got into day trade type entries and various components of that. And her message to me this morning was, it is all due to the mastermind group, the inner circle. Everything that she's seeing coming up on her trade du jours are all based on what we taught inside the mastermind group. So folks, if you have the opportunity, you want to get inside of there without a doubt, right? So yeah, way to go Amelia. Very nice. Awesome. I'm just looking for the last question. Nice job, Amelia. That's great. Yep, she is awesome. Woohoo. That's Rick. All right, there we go. Karen is the one that said that she had done Netflix, right? So 503.76. Let's go back to Netflix. Oh, I just happen to have a line already drawn there. Go figure. Why would that be? I'm not going to say. But there is importance there historically, but there's importance there because it gives us a daily Fibonacci level. That's really where the importance comes in. This is my 50 percentile fib line. Abundantly important for me to have that number, right? So I come over here and I look at my intraday. I can't do that here. So I'm hitting my function keys like it's going to zoom in, right? Did we have an open up higher? Yep, we did. Did we get a pullback and close near that 503.76? Yes. Did we get a bounce off it? Well, there you go. There's the potential entry on that bounce right in there. And look at the move it's made from 503. We're now at 515. $11, $12 move on the stock. Let's say you didn't catch it all. You caught 8 of it, 9 of it. We'll do 10 because it's an easy number. And you had a 70 delta. That's a tremendous move on just one contract. But Rob, it's Monday morning. Options are expensive on Netflix. You know, maybe they are. So let's see. Let's do it. I just need to switch this over because my option chain is not being nice. There we go. So look at an option right now. And if I'm looking for a 65 or higher delta, I need to spend $1,573 right now to get a 68 delta with 684 open interest on an option that expires today. If you spent, where's Notepad? Okay. Make it a little bit bigger. If you spent on Netflix, let's do it this way. Right now, the stock is at $515.98. Okay, that's the stock price. If we look at the 507.50 call, and that was is trading at it's actually 507.50. That was just showing 65 delta, but it doesn't have the open interest. So we're looking at the 505, right? So let's change that. We got the 505 call. And how much is that trading for right now? That is trade. Let's call it $16. We don't need to do intricate math by having an 03 in there. The cost is $16. If Netflix were to move $30, not $30, what was the movement on it? What was the move on Netflix? We said 504 to $30 was somebody else you're looking at, to 516, right? So we have a $12 move, right? Moves to 516 to 12 is 26.28, right? 528. All right, let's just change this and make life easy. 516, it moves up to 528, right? Which would give us $12. All right, so we have a $12 move in there, right? If we have a 65 delta right now, but if we move $12, if you understand this, awesome. If you don't, really not the place I can explain it to you. But if we had a $12 move, if we took 505 and took $12 off of it, What does that give me? 500. I need more strikes in here, I think. So we're looking at the 505 option right there. And we're talking about 5, 10, 1250. Okay. So we're looking at an 80 delta. Your delta will go from 65 to 80 roughly. Okay. If you got that, awesome. If not, sorry, we can't really fix it. Can't really go through that here. I can inside of TradingView and things like that. So we had an 80 delta, right? So the delta was 65. Right? The new delta, I think I got caps lock on, right? I do. Okay, let's fix that. Is 80. So if we take an 80 delta, so we have a $12 move. You didn't get all of it. We're going to just say you got 10 of it, right? You got a $10 move, and you're going to multiply that by an 80 delta. That's $8. If you had one contract, and it moved $8, you're up $800, right? You have $800 profit on a $16 investment. Oh, how nice is that? Somebody tell me the rate of return there. That's why I said, how nice is that? Because it's easy math. You don't need a calculator to do it. You spend $1,600, you make $800, you're up. Just one of you want to tell me? Yeah, I know. Okay, there we go. Just making sure. Guys, I want to make sure you can calculate it. All right, this is an easy one. It's 50% rate of return. %50 rate of return on Netflix. So to say Netflix is expensive, it may be a higher cost option. You have to determine if it fits what you're looking for. But folks, I mean, we've got a target on Netflix. I've got a target on Netflix today at 520.5. That's my target on Netflix. If it gets there, awesome. If it doesn't, I'll take it where it's at, where it closes. I'm good with that, right? We'll manage that trade out. But Netflix right now, and if you look at that option, by the way, here, you want to get exact numbers? You'd be looking at that option at $11, and right now it's at 16. Okay, and it did go down lower than that. It was about 10, right? So is this it? Yeah, and when was the last time it traded? 12. Yeah, it just recently traded at 1245. Okay, so phenomenal move on Netflix today. Phenomenal move. Right? At only 10 or 12 bucks. But with that being said, the opportunities are there to crush it, folks. So let's see. PK said, yeah, in 1.2 hours. Well, exactly. Go and annualize that sucker. Right? 1.2 hours. Let's see. PK said, would you maybe in Master the Trade show where you would put your stop? Yeah, PK, you can ask all those types of, when we get into Mastering the Trade, which is for those that are in power option plays, that's the questions I want you asking. Where do we set our stop? Where do we set our target? Where do we do this? But what we're really going to talk about in the upcoming Mastering the Trade, you guys okay if I share with you this, this new account I'm working on? Is that all right if I bring up this new trading system that I'm going to release in the Mastering the Trade to the Power Option Play students? Yeah, well, absolutely, we can do both. Yeah, so that we always record the class, John. Amelia, are we putting it up still on WBHQ TV? Or Sean, Sean, I think you're in here. Are we posting it up on WBHQ TV? Yeah, Sean, it shows you're still here. How about that? Yes, we are. Okay, so John, then you can go right into the Wealth Builders HQ TV icon in the upper right-hand corner. Click on that, and it'll be up in there. All right, for the recording. I know I'm telling you, people say, Rob, you should be charging a couple $100 for this class, and I give it away for free. Here we're doing nothing but pure content. Look at this, right? So here is, let me just resize this and set it up before I bring it in. So starting on September 4th through September 30th, I took a $5,000 account, and traded it. So you get, and we do okay, so let me set some things up here. It's a maximum of $1,250 per trade. That's the maximum. It's also a maximum of 3 trades a week. So if I do all 3 of them on Monday, I can't trade anything else for the rest of the week. I'm done. It hasn't become an issue at all for me to do that. I don't do 3 trades in a day normally, but there are some days I could have done more, but I don't, right? I spread them out throughout the course of the week. And I look for the right trade setups. I've got a $5,000 account to start with. I got to be really careful. So in a month, these are the trades that we did, right? Doesn't matter who they are. These are the trades that we did. The dates I took them are the same dates that I exited on the trade, right? So we're looking at, what do we have there? The first 3 lines are header. I've got 17 lines. So I've got 14 trades in the month of September, right? 14 trades throughout the month of September. And it was shut down after that. I didn't do any trades in the 1st and 2nd of October. This is only for the month, right? In there. So this is a $5,000 account following a very strict guideline on the number of contracts I take, which, don't worry, folks, when we get into mastering the trade, I will be teaching you, I will be giving you how many contracts to trade depending on the day of the week it is. I'll give you all that information, right? I've already got it done, right? This is how we've done. This is how we've done weekly on it. This is how we've done each trade. This is how we've done weekly, okay? This was not our best week. It was actually our fourth best week. This was not one of our great weeks at all, okay? It was good. I'm not complaining about it. We've only had one that was under $500. We've only had one that was under $1,000. It was the same week, right? This week right here. And what this encompasses is this. Sorry. Right? That's how it's pulled out right there. Okay. I probably should go ahead and color code these. Right. My bad. So the first week was only 2. I only got 2 trades off there on the first week. Right. Nothing on the second week to be concerned with there. So there's 3 trades. Nothing I meant. I'm not going to put a color. Right. We'll put a color here. Oh, nope. We'll put the color here. All right. So that's how the weeks lay out. Right. That's how each of the trades relate out to the green bar on the right side. Okay. In there. There you go. Will, I haven't even done the calculations. 3 out of 17 losses, 83% wins. Exactly. But most importantly, Will, is there's one thing that you all need to take very close note of. And that is this right here. That is not the value of the account. That's the P&L. Add these up, and that is what you get. So my rate of return is 100+% on this account. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're going to be teaching in the next Mastering the Trade, is this system right here. 160% rate of return. Here you go, Tom. I appreciate that. I like it. Sean said that puts the power in pop. Or the pop in the power. I don't know. Maybe. Whichever way you want to say it. Yeah, Boz. Absolutely. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So we'll go through all the rules of this in that class, so don't worry about it. I wanted to have enough history to be able to do that when I teach it, right? And my goal when I first laid this out was we would trade this at the $1,250 per contract maximum, or one contract. So in other words, if something was $1,300 on a Monday, we would only trade one if we still wanted to trade, right? we would reevaluate it after we got above 10K. Well, we're already above 10K. We're at 13K, 13,633, right? So we're above that. So I'm going to reevaluate it with the group. For now, I'm going to keep trading three trades a week. That's it. 3 trades Monday through Friday. No more, no less. 3 trades for the week and a maximum of $1,250. I'm going to follow very strict guidelines that I have laid out for my contracts for what I want to trade. All right. Oh, I appreciate it. Amy dropped in a link, folks, to Power Option Plays. Listen, there's a 2-week trial on Power Option Plays, guys. Get in Power Options Plays, get yourself prepared. By the time we get to this training, you'll have an understanding of what we're doing. Bill said the stop out prices look lower than the entry. It's possible I made a mistake, Bill. I'll take a look at the numbers. So Trader Will said you get the class this week. So that class is, when was that? When is Mastering the Trade? Mastering the Trade is October 22nd. That's when we're teaching it. But you'll get Power Option Plays starting now. If you take the trial, bull trades for Bill. Tom said it's what I've been looking for. Nice work. Okay, good. If you take the trial. Oh, never mind. Okay, got it. Skip it. Takes a lot of guesswork out of the equation. Exactly. And that training, when we do that training, normally we keep one Mastering the Trade saved. I'm going to have Sean and saved, meaning when we teach Mastering the Trade, when the next one gets taught, we take the last one out. I'm going to have Sean strip out that section of video where we're teaching the Pop 5K, which is what I'm calling it, Pop 5K, where we'll teach that Pop 5K and we'll make it into its own video. And that will become a permanent video on the members area up there, right? It's just another way of trading without pulling your hair out, trying to figure all of this stuff out on your own. Guys, when I first started, the company I took my training from had a website and they gave you all these companies to trade, but I came to find out that they gave you those companies after the owner had already taken the trade. Okay? So he took the trade, you went ahead and took the same trade and drove the price of the option up, even though the stock stayed where it was. He was able to get out of his and you were stuck with an option that really wasn't moving the way it was supposed to. Right? So I had to really find my own candidates. And I pulled my hair out. See? Look at it. All right? I pulled my hair out to try to find my own stuff. Thank God my mentor was able to show me some methods to do this in a quicker fashion, which hence, before Vaskin passed, and I didn't get to see him before my mentor passed away. I saw him before he went to Germany for an experimental cancer treatment, and he never made it back alive. So I did not get to see him. But before I left, that was one of the things he said to me was, if something happened to me, and I said, oh, come on, nothing's going to happen to you. You're going to be fine. It was his 4th bout with cancer. He said to me, if something were to happen to me, remember what I did for you. You need to do that for others. Right? So I could very easily say, oh, guess what? We're going to do another subscription and you guys can subscribe to something else beyond Pop and learn how to do this. No, it's going to become part of what I do in Pop. Right? So you guys will get all the details. I'll teach the system in there and then you'll learn how to build your own list and all of that is going to be part of it. So you'll have a blast. Let's see. Oh, DX, that's not, I did not learn from that company. I learned from a company called Wade Cook. Oh, excellent, Will. Good. Very good. Oh, Will, I am so happy to hear that. Will's wife, those of you who know his wife has cancer, the blood work came back normal last week. That is great. Tom said, sounds like a great way to trade with limited risk. Learn the methods and grow your account so that you're fully ready to do the bigger trades in Pop and hit that 1 million yearly goal. Exactly. Yeah, DX, you got it. All right, I'll take a look at that in a second, Jim. Yeah, Will said we are overjoyed. Prayers helped. Excellent. Excellent. Getting some kudos there, Jim. Some congratulations on that. So, yeah, fantastic. All right, so where was it? Just trying to go back and look. All right, so we don't have a lot of time to look at some charts, but Jim's brought this up twice on SPY. So let me go back and read his comment. Look at the SPY daily line chart. Okay, line chart. So let me go over to template number 1, where I don't have moving averages. Let me go to a line. Okay. Looks like it's building an inverse head and shoulders. Yes. So, and it's not it's more sloppy than it is clean, but here's the head, right? Down here, right? You've got a shoulder here. This is kind of that where I said sloppy, this kind of becomes a two-headed monster, right? Unless you look at that as your shoulder, and you got two shoulders here as well. So it's more of a, yes, it is there. It definitely is there on SPY. The thing about it is the technical patterns are awesome. Keep in mind, right now, this changes every day. Why? Because of what's going on with politics, the presidency. That's where all of this lies right now, is what's the president doing, or what is somebody doing about the president, right? Again, good or bad, right or wrong, it's what's driving the market. Look, did everybody see unemployment last week? Come on now. I mean, 8%, under 8%. I mean, we're at 8%. That wasn't expected until the end of the year, and it's back already. Now, don't get me wrong. New York City is in bad shape right now. There are a couple of areas that are really bad, and de Blasio, the mayor, is talking about shutting those towns down, those zip codes down. All non-essential businesses, restaurants will not only lose the indoor dining, but they'll lose outdoor dining. They'll only be able to do pickups and deliveries. That's it. I mean, that's how serious this is getting. We went from phenomenal numbers in New York, and I think the governor is doing a horrible job of really making this work. He's blaming it back on the executives without calling out the people that are causing this problem. He doesn't want to call anybody out because it's constituents. He doesn't want to say who it is that's causing it and where it's coming from. But he's going to start fining the towns, the city, the town executive, whoever, up to $10,000 a day if they're not enforcing. And I get enforcing the law, right? I get it. But the governor has done a horrible job. Just look at the number of deaths that we've had in New York. Compare it to Florida, where the deaths in Florida are 500% less or something. And they've got more people in Florida than we have in New York as a state. Yeah, it's over 20 zip codes, PK. Absolutely. Yeah, so we've got a lot of layoffs coming, Chip. Exactly. We've got a lot of layoffs happening that are the airlines. Talking about, what was it, 30 or 40,000 people they're laying off, right? Now, granted, if you work for Amazon, you ain't getting laid off, but most people don't work for Amazon, right? They just don't. If you work for Costco, you're not getting laid off, right? But so many of the mom and pops, they're not going to make another round of everybody's got to shop online. They're just not. Even the restaurants, the local pizzeria by us, I know the owner, and he said they did well through through this with COVID because it's a quick takeout, right? But I'm going to order from a pizzeria, which is right around the corner from me, before I'm going to go ahead and drive 45 minutes to go do pickup at a more expensive Italian restaurant, or where we would go into the city. I'm not going to go there. I can't. I'm not going to drive that distance to go pick up and drive it back home, and it'll be ice cold. I'm going to go close. Don't get me wrong. It's New York pizzerias. They're all good. They can't be in business if they're not out here. They'd be out of business. There's too many of them. All right. Yeah, glad I flew on 9:30. Yeah. FedEx is hiring at $15 an hour, Rick said. Tom said, it's the nature of the disease and politicians, a bad combo. Yeah, everybody's doing what they can for their own benefit, right? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And it's no different than trying to get the payout. The Democrats, the Republicans, everybody's trying to make it where this bill passing has benefits to them. right? But that's every other bill. Heck, when you look at the original Obamacare bill, which a friend of mine was a reporter at the time in Lexington, Kentucky, said there was a thing in there that we want to take everybody's 401k, throw it in a pot, and divide it equally amongst everybody in the United States. Really? Well, not politicians, though. Theirs didn't count. Really? Really? That's part of healthcare? Come on. Come on. You don't need this stuff. Make the darn bill, pay these people that are on unemployment, and get them some money. Stop this garbage. You know, I have friends that are getting now 300 versus 6, better than nothing. But it took how many weeks to get that 300? And I don't know if it's even extending out where they get it longer. I don't even know if they are still getting it or not. I know it was a couple of weeks it was originally for. My one friend said they got it for 3 weeks, right? $300 living on Long Island. If your taxes are under 10 grand, you're doing great. That's wonderful, but all the money you get goes to taxes. So, all right. Yeah. Jim said, my thoughts is if Trump beats the virus fast, it should be hopefully put pressure on the states to close down, to open back up. It all depends how fast people can get that drug, right? That's really what it's going to come down to. We're not ready with it yet. It's still in trial. And if they don't adjust price, so if you have a president, if Trump becomes president and they try to come out with an absurd price that people can't afford, Trump will go out and crush him. There's no question he will. Trump will absolutely go out and crush him. I don't believe that Biden will do that. Maybe. It hasn't been the mode of operations in the past, but maybe he does. But my concern is that we get the vaccine out and people are not being scared by the news channels saying, do you really trust the president that this is a good drug to take? They're scaring people into, I shouldn't take the drug, right? So there's, let's see, Boz said in-laws, taxes, 18 to 24 grand, Long Island. So, and it all depends where you are, Boz. There's places on Long Island that you could be paying $150,000 a year in taxes, but just depends what you're looking at. Average, if you're under 10 grand, you're crushing it. You're crushing it on Long Island. Where I live, further out east in Suffolk County, they have not redone a tax adjustment yet. Once they do, I mean, we saw people here go from $6,000 in taxes to $18,000 in taxes overnight. I mean, they got crushed. Yeah, Trader Will said, just don't get COVID, stay protected. Yeah, I mean, one of my businesses just got approved by Nassau County. Sean picked the stuff up the other day. They gave us all kinds of PPE supplies, masks, gloves, face shields, sanitizer, disinfectants, sanitized cloths to clean up. I mean, it was buckets, even a bucket they gave us. 2 cardboard boxes that were probably 16 by 16 by 30 with these boxes full of stuff for us. So they did the county did a great job with that. Yeah, everybody stay protected. And we'll leave it on that, folks. Sorry we didn't get any candidates today, but hey, well, I know we didn't get to candidates today, but was today's training worth it? Did you learn some stuff today? Give me a 1 for yes, 2 for no. Real easy. We try to make it simple on you. I don't need you typing lots of stuff in. You can answer and put text in there. So lots of 1s, yeses, greats. Fantastic. Yes, always I learn from what you teach. Thanks, Kevin. Good to see you, my friend. Marty, how you doing, sir? Excellent. Good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I think we are done. So remember, stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And always remember, you're just 1 trade away. Take care, folks. You have a blessed rest of your day. Go kill it in the market, and I'll see you at our next update. Take care. See you then. Hey, Amy's going to drop back in that link, which she just did for Power Option Plays. Go check it out. There's a 2-week trial on it, folks. Take the trial. See what you think. If you like it after 2 weeks, awesome. If you don't, awesome. Not a problem. See y'all soon. Bye.